us now. How did it go, Susan?
Well, very limited reopen, as you mentioned, after being shut for almost a month. That's the longest closure for the stock market there since the fall of the Soviet Union. And as you can imagine, it was chaotic, a volatile first session back, up 10% at its peak and keeping half of those gains at the end. But as you mentioned, you only had 33 stocks to trade, no short selling, meaning no bets that stocks would fall. And foreign investors weren't allowed to sell any stocks or bonds until April the 1st at the earliest. Now, the White House criticizing this Moscow reopen, writing that this is not a real market and not a sustainable model, a Potemkin market opening. And you see that on the streets of Russia. Average Russians are not buying into the Kremlin reassurances that the economy is fine. You see fear, panic with store shelves bare. Russians have been stockpiling, fearful that sanctions and a deep economic recession will mean food and product shortages. So towels, diapers, we've heard pet food, coffee and sugar have been really hard to find, really a throwback to the Soviet era. And if you thought inflation was bad here, well, Russians are paying much higher prices there, with many global companies pausing or pulling out of Russia. Sugar prices are up 14% in a week. You have staples like onions, tomatoes, cabbage, the list goes on, with salt and diapers all spiking over the past week. We're talking about 7 days here, Neil, and medication now costs 40% more, according to one estimate. Many economists are now forecasting a severe recession this year. Russia's GDP might shrink 15% and erase 15 years of economic growth by the end of next year. Neil?
Very thorough. Thank you for that, Susan Lee. I think